Hi, my name is Peter and I'm an RC300-aholic. Well, it's been more than a month since I published my first little video, so I guess my career as a YouTuber is pretty much down the drain now, but I don't care. Today I will share some thoughts about a very basic thing inside the RC300, and that is how it handles tempos and what is original tempo and memory tempo that is mentioned in the manual. This is also something that has been a subject for discussion in the RC300 community. You will find a link to that one below. And I think it's really important that you understand how the RC300 handles these things. And with that said, I have to admit that I didn't understand this for several years using the RC300. I can see that I ran into some problems which I solved or worked my way around, but without really understanding what was going on. So let's find out what's happening. Here I got a totally blank phrase memory. It's initialized, so the time signature is by default 4x4. And the memory tempo is set to 120, and so are the tempo on the tracks, but this is not a preset, it's just a default, and the only impact that has on the RC at this stage is if I should start to play the internal rhythm, then it will play something in 4x4 by the tempo of 120, but I'm not going to use the internal rhythm now. The tracks are also set to auto, and that means that the recording will be as long as I decide from the moment I press rec on one of the tracks and until I press rec again and go into overdub mode. They are also set to loop sync and the tempo sync on as a default. So this machine, which basically have the intelligence of maybe just a little bit more than your average axe, has no clue to what is going to happen when I'm ready to do my recording. It will simply play back whatever I do exactly as I do it relentlessly. So if I put crap in, I will get crap back. So working on my timing, both playing and how my feet are handling the RC, is essential and takes a lot of practice. I thought I'd do something in the time signature of 15x8 just to make a point. Now you know this, but the RC doesn't. So let's see how it handles that, and keep an eye on the display of what happens with the tempo and the measures when I close the loop. Well, tempo-wise, that was okay. Could do a little bit more about my playing, really, but that's not the point here. So you can hear it was 15x8 as intended, and the RC recorded and played that back without any problem. When I pressed record the second time and ended my loop, it went into overdub mode and immediately came up with a tempo that is 117.3, and it's also two measures. So how did it do that? Well, the tempo that was calculated by this first recording, that is what is called the original tempo, and the RC calculates that by taking the length of the loop in actual time, that is, and based on the time signature it finds a suitable number of measures in which it can use a tempo between 80 and 160. This is also the memory tempo now, and it will be used for all the other tracks as well in this configuration. They still state auto, but now that means that they will automatically be 2 measures long when I start recording on them. Since loop sync is on, I can start record on them whenever I want. I don't need to worry about having the perfect timing on my feet now, since the number 1 beat will be the same for all these tracks at this point. So I will just do some rhythm on track 2 and a bass line on track 3. So I'll show you the number 2 track there, so you'll see that it will be 2 measures as well. And let's see. Starting the playback of what I recorded before. I can start record anytime. So I'm gonna record some bass as well. Well, I don't really need to bother with the tempo or the number of measures since all the tracks are playing in perfect sync. That is just something that the RC needs to keep it all together. I can start or stop any one of them or turn all on and off and it will still play in sync. But if I want to use the internal rhythm, then I got a problem. That wasn't too good unless I'm into some strange avant-garde music, and that's because the internal rhythm is playing two measures in 117.3 with a time signature of 4/4, and that is the exact same length as me playing what I'm playing, but with the rhythmic feel of 15/8. The only thing those two have in common is the number 1 beat. So if I want to use the internal rhythm, I have to set the time signature correctly from the beginning. So I will go back here to my initialized memory. There we are, empty, nothing is blinking here, and I'm gonna set the time signature to 15/8 instead, and I'm gonna do the recording all over again, and let's see what happens now. I think I play that pretty much time-wise the same tempo as I did before, but this time the tempo in the RC300 is 110.9, and it's only one measure. And that is because now the RC is doing the calculations based on 15/8 instead. I can now use the internal rhythm if I want to. I'm gonna change to something more suitable. I think this one will be good. And and that was all for now, and I hope you enjoyed it and that you will have some use for that. The RC300 is full of possibilities, but it also has limitations, and it's good to be aware of them. The next time I will introduce a nice little software that we have developed. Well, I stood for the requirements and the beta testing, and my partner in crime did the programming. But it's a software that enables me to more easily rearrange the phrase memories inside the RC300, which can be a hassle. So don't forget to click that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on anything. And until next time, you take care, keep the distance, and keep on looping.